everybody please welcome Anthony Rousseau, Joseph Rousseau, and Bucky Barnes himself, Sebastian Stan. Sebastian, what's it like to come back? It's been a little while since we've seen you in this universe.
Has it?
I don't know. A couple of years.
Well, it didn't really feel like that to me in a good way. I mean, no. Listen, it was great to be included, obviously, and I feel like anytime we get to kind of explore another shade of the character, you know, for me it's exciting, and there's so many complex ways to go, and you know, the Black Panther thing was really something nice. Didn't expect. I don't even know if you know how I found out that I was gonna do that tag scene.
No,
It came up recently. Yeah. No, I was flying on the same flight as Kevin Feige, and then a baggage claim. He was like, "Oh, by the way, you know, we're gonna have this thing where you're gonna." That's how I found out.
You mean the tag from Panther?
Yeah, yeah. So you know, it's always a great sort of nice reveal for me as well. I mean, in the sense of where, you know, the character's got his hand in a lot of different things right now. So it's exciting to know where he might end up.
What's it like to come back and work with all these people that you've worked with for a number of years now?
I mean, you know, I've been so lucky with obviously the two of them now for the last three, feels like, you know, 4 years that we've spent together, kind of in a way finding each other and again, and it does have like a nostalgic feeling at times. I mean, especially with this movie, it's felt that way because it is like a family in a way. You see each other, you know, you go through things, and then you come back again the year after that. So it's always special.
The same problems that occur for the filmmaker who's making a $1 million movie in 18 days
identical
are occurring for the filmmakers making a $300 million movie in 2 years.
I know that's depressing to hear, but it's true.
We're all screwed, guys. We're all screwed, no matter what stage.
1000%.
Do you feel that way on set as well, Sebastian?
We're screwed. Yes. I always feel that way.
For a plethora of reasons right now, but I'm sure. But I mean, as an actor on set, does it feel different for you acting in a big budget movie like this than it does acting in something like I, Tonya?
No, I mean, it is a little different because, you know, maybe in this situation we have the luxury of time to some extent. I wouldn't say, you know, I wouldn't take that, you know, and run with it. But there is a difference of time a little bit, you know, 30 days versus like something like where you're in it for the long haul. But even then, you know, it's like when you're rushing through something, that's not necessarily great. But then when you have too much time sitting and waiting, I feel like as an actor is not great either, because then you got to kind of like show up and bring your energy right up where, you know, where it needs to be. And then I think in this case, you know, it was a lot of discovery for everyone as we were going, you know, for them with the movie, and maybe what's needed for us, like in terms of adjusting to that and what actually is going to make it in the movie or not. So, you know, but I think the fact that we all have this familiarity with one another, just that we know a little bit of, you know, kind of how we've worked together helps a lot.
What does that feel like on set, that familiarity? How does that work?
It's fun. I mean, it's fun. It really does become like a bit of a, you know, it has that summer camp feeling, I feel like, in a way, with the actors. Everybody really gets along. I mean, you know, everyone has a specific personality, and kind of you know when that shines through.
Who's the funniest?
I mean, you know, I was immediately thinking about Mackie because like when he shows up, it's so loud. I mean, it's like, yeah. Here we go, you know. But
who do you like acting opposite of?
Well, hang on a minute. I guess people have seen the movie. Well, yeah. I mean, no, I don't know. I kind of like obviously everywhere. I mean, they're all good. I would say Mackie's the one that I sometimes struggle with.
Yeah.
Only because I'm like
a straight face. Yeah.
You have to go there. Like we have to go there, you know. And
you just answer that question the same way when people ask us, like, "Who's your favorite actor to work with?" They're all great.
They're all good.
Well, really, they're just.
Who's your favorite Rousseau brother to be directed by?
They're both great.
Very different. I mean, you know, I can't, you know, not say it because they both know this has happened, so I'm good with it. But like, I've been in a situation where Anthony will tell me something, and then I'll go, and then Joe will come up to me like, and tell me things.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, and I'll be like, but Anthony just said that, and he goes, "Don't do what Anthony does."
Don't do what Anthony said.
Yeah,
Dory. Guys, before I go to audience questions, what do you guys do after the Avengers is over? When you guys are done making the Avengers movies, what do you do? Like you've essentially made. I mean, maybe Star Wars next?
we love Star Wars.
There it is.
I mean, look, I think
Do an indie? Do like a.
I think we have a lot of stories we want to tell. We have a lot of personal stories.
We have this
that we've been working
little movie about a dog that wants to be a cat that we've been working on for 10 years.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Really?
No, but something like that probably.
Did you just come up with an idea that's going to be a movie now?
I love it.
That's a great. Let's remember to talk about that after this.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting idea.
Press tour, they talked a lot about, Bucky being in Wakanda and maybe their relationship with Shuri and T'Challa, and the movie happened. But how did you guys conceive of that, like in the in-between time between Black Panther and what we see in Infinity War? And sort of off of that, too, we see Bucky and Steve reunite in the promo, and the hug is amazing, as we touched on outside. But it seems pretty chill for like 100 years and like 3 movies worth of reunions. So, is it the first time they met?
No, it's
each
not.
other?
I don't believe it's the first time that they have seen each other since Bucky was.
But the
awoke.
the answer is, you have 2.5 hours. That hug would be like 20, be like half the film.
Yeah.
So you need to get moving, I feel like.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we make these choices based on the story real estate that we have, and it was appropriate for appropriate amount of time had passed for Bucky to be healed since Civil War. Shuri, as we know, is a genius and perhaps maybe the smartest person in the world, and they found a way to repair. She found a way to repair Bucky when no one else could for many years. So I think for us, I think clearly Steve, who'd been on the run since Infinity War, has been keeping since Civil War, been keeping in close contact with Shuri and T'Challa. Obviously, he's been hiding somewhere. I think he's made his way through Wakanda a couple of times, and so I do not believe that and that is how we directed that scene. That was not the first time that they were seeing each other since he woke up. Oh, that's great.
So dramatic.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
Yes. Where?
It's amazing.
Yeah. Who does it?
It looks.
Yeah. Can we see it? Yes, please.
And then there's T'Challa in there, Steve and Tony.
Okay. That. By the way, that is.
Oh my God,
amazing.
you
could-
That is incredible. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah. Momo at the East Village. You guys just got a lot of great
Nice.
press.
I'll let it keep
Amazing.
going.
Yeah.
Next question.
that's cool.
Over here. Hi.
Hey.
Thank you for coming. I was just wondering if and when there's a solo Winter Soldier movie, what storyline you guys would go with. Yeah, that's it.
What would be fun to explore in a solo Winter Soldier movie?
It's when the Winter Soldier started a band. That was a
No.
Winter Soldier wanted to become a cat.
Wow. No, it would be. I think for me, it's only like 2 different things. Obviously, there are 2 things. I mean, I think what's interesting is like you have all that Cold War like stuff that hasn't really been tapped into, which is would be prior to the Winter Soldier movie, which could involve the Black Widow, and that's a whole thing. And then it would be interesting to see like, where, I don't know how to answer this. It'd be interesting if he survived to see where he would have potentially gone in the future.
Unfortunately, we'll never be able to tell that story.
Right. So the past it will have to be.
The Star-Lord, Tony Stark scene, and you're putting them together. So we knew that there was always going to be, and what was going to be unique about the film was that the tone of the film could shift very quickly.
I think we have time for one more.
Hi, I have a 2-part question. First, why is Black Widow's hair blonde in this movie? And also, the second question is for Sebastian. In the comics, there's a point in time where Bucky takes over Captain America's place. If you had to play that in the future, Captain America, Bucky being Captain America, how would you play that? Would you have a black uniform or something?
Yeah.
I mean, look, it would have to be a very different, quote, Captain America. Like, it just wouldn't be the same. You know, it'd be interesting to, you know, in the comic books, it was always interesting because there was an emotional turmoil. There was a guilt there that was driving for me, you know, that character because in Steve's absence, you know, it sort of felt like the guy had to once again carry on this you know, vision that his best friend had for years and what he stood for, and that struggle, you know, and you have that kind of coming into conflict with someone who's still grappling with their own past and what, you know, is the right thing to do now. And if you have a character who's always searched for getting an identity and he finally gets an identity only to have to lose his identity again to another idea, then it makes it for a very complex take on it. You know what I mean? So if they ever were to explore that, it would be a very different, definitely way darker take on that situation, you know?
Yeah, Bucky seems like he is pretty vulnerable, even in like a few. There's a few small moments where just your performance and just one or two lines, he feels like he's still
This
slightly
film?
broken and vulnerable. Yeah,
Thanks, Ricky.
it's a compliment.
Vulnerable?
You know, should not be.
I was Ricky Cam.
Yeah,
I was just kidding. Just wanted to get it right, you know. No, look, I mean, I that's great that you still see that, because look, I mean, I think for me, one of the things that, you know, I always want to, in my mind, you know, a person doesn't just change overnight. You know, a person just gets stronger with their DNA, right? Their whatever we all come with. You know, you get better at handling things, or you get better, stronger at dealing with things. So, you know, you're not just fixed. So in a sense, you're always going to see that vulnerability there to some extent. You're just going to see it, hopefully, a stronger, more stable person.
Thanks, Sebastian. The movie Avengers Infinity War, congratulations on the weekend, guys. I think it's playing in New York and LA. Comes out on VOD in a couple days, right? Everybody check it out everywhere and give them a huge round of applause. Thank you.